And you get as far as to even, like, you see this in podcasts or in gatherings, when someone even tries to even engage or try to, it gets cut off. It's like, no, no, like, just let me finish my 45 minutes. Like, I need to do my 1 hour and then I'm out. Like, you won't even see me sit beside you. And I've seen how many people like that. How many? Like, just comes in, he's busy, boom, out. Sorry, brother. Are you, like, I didn't know, like, you have, yeah, you might have, everyone's got everywhere important to be. I understand that. But I'm sorry that I'm not qualified enough to, for my opinion to matter compared to yours. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not as smart as you, and that, you won't take any importance to my words. I'm sorry. Belittle me a little more. Make me feel even smaller. Because that's going to make me love religion more, yeah? That's when I come out of that 1 hour talk that you gave, and it's, you know, 20 minutes of it is about the Prophet, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes about, like, half, maybe a quarter of it, depending on the person. Like, very minimal is, like, bare minimum is the Quran and, like, the actual knowledge, the actual thing. The rest is about, it's about this and it's about that, and pointing fingers. Don't listen to that person, don't listen to this person, and stick to us and stick to this organization. For years and years, I've lived this for years and years, where honestly I'm embarrassed to say you turned me off from religion, and you would be surprised at how many people. That's another point that I'm gonna make with you. When you become so real in life, yeah. When I go out to anyone, and I tell them, like, today, wherever I go, yeah, I've done this, I've been to prison, and I open up everything. I go, yeah, this is me. I've got $50 in my bank account. I've been in prison. I become so real. Surprisingly, you get really, good people with good intentions. They become real with you as well. They become very real with you. They share thoughts with you that they will never share with a scholar or a sheikh of any position. You won't even hear these problems because you're up on your throne. You're up there. Same example that I said. You won't hear these conversations. You won't see these experiences because you are covered in your, you've got your gates. You've got your guards. You're in a castle. You are protected. You have your men around you. Yeah, this is figurative. You're protected. Any peasant, yeah, to put it back in the old time, any peasant can't come knocking on your castle because you've got guards. You've got people stopping him, saying, "You're a peasant. Stay in your lane. I'm up here. I only deal with educated people. I won't have a conversation with a criminal, with a sinner, a person that's just smoked weed. I won't even go next to him. I won't, because I have better stuff to do. I need to study. I need to, rise up in my ranks. But I will. But I do, because I don't care. I don't fear anything. Like, it comes to a point, I've said this figuratively. If I say, honestly, life brings you to such a point where, like, figuratively, if you saw, like, honestly, if I saw someone with a machete, I would, like, I'm on 2 hours of sleep, whatever. I'm broken in the head. I'm mentally not all there. Say whatever you will. I don't give a shit. I'll walk up to that person and be like, yeah, brother, like, calm down and try taking off. I don't care. I don't care. Are you on that same, like, are you ready to go on that same path? Because that's what it's about. When life hits you so hard, you stop giving a single fuck about anything. And this isn't about being suicidal or anything. That's just my thoughts and my opinions on how much I give a fuck about stuff. Like, I don't care and I don't fear it. I'm just like, whatever. Like, I know you. I've been there. I've spoken with these people. If anything, that guy, if he, like, he's crying out for help. He's crying out for help. All he needs is some love and respect for just one person to understand him. One person. And I've had experiences. Where I was high off my face, and I tried going to a mosque, couple mosques, and I was kicked out. I was told to leave. One mosque. At one point, I had my own rental place. It was so, I'm ashamed in saying this. It was so dirty because I couldn't keep up. I was on the verge. I needed to be hospitalized. I ended up in prison anyway. I went into prison, and then they got rid of my rental property. I couldn't stay at my own place, so I stayed at a mosque. I was 60 kilos. I was heading towards 59, 58. Rib and bones. Like on the verge of dying. Like, and I know people, like, I've heard how many comments when people used to say to them, they used to be like, what the fuck happened to you? Like, are you okay? Like my face, my skull was coming in. I was like, my rib cage was coming out. And like, you know, I tried entering the hospital, 2 hospitals. I tried getting admittance, and they asked me one question. They asked me, they're like, are you suicidal? I'm like, I'm not suicidal. Like I didn't even know how close I was to, you know, losing my life or whatever it may be. But they asked me 2 questions. One, are you suicidal, and do you hear voices in your head? I'm like, no. I go because I'm not going to admit that I'm insane. I'm not insane. I'm not mentally retarded. Like, sorry to say. And I said to them, to the nurse, I'm like, I'm not. And I told them, I'm like, I just need help. I'm like, I'm losing weight. I go, I can't eat. I haven't eaten for days. I go, but I won't let you write that on my record and give any sort of proof saying, yeah, I'm insane, lock me up. No, I'm not insane. I'm perfectly normal. I'm functional. I know how to think. I know how to do everything. I'm perfectly all there, brother. You might think that I'm insane because I'm so real. You might think that I'm crazy, but that's your problem. That's not my problem. That's your own perspective and your own delusional thoughts on me. I know exactly what I am. I know that I speak truth so hard, so deep, that it makes you so uncomfortable where you need to start putting labels on me. But I went to a mosque. I went to 2 mosques. One where I was actually sleeping the night. And I'm thinking, I'm like, let me put myself in that situation. Again, it's the most basic example, right? I'm like, if I was an imam, or even me, I'm not an imam, and I see someone at the mosque, yeah, that is, and I was respectful. I didn't swear and scream and shout at the imam or do anything like that. And he knew very well that I was sleeping there. He knew very well that I spent my 2 nights there. What was I told to do? I'll tell you exactly what I was told to do by an imam. I'm not giving any names. I can speak my truth as I will. I was told to move my car because there's construction outside. I was told, yeah, it's like, move your car, there's construction thing. I'm like, okay, done. And I moved it, and I had to, and my BMW X5, I got rid of it. It was smoking oil, engine oil. And I had to leave it there and catch an Uber because the car wouldn't start up. That's what I was told as an imam, from an imam. And now I think, I'm like, bro, okay, if I was honestly in that position, and I like, and you know, I'm the owner of the mosque, yeah, I'll stand for something, right? And I'll see someone spending the night there. They're not spending it at home. They're spending the night there for 2-3 nights. And on top, I was told, oh, you know, pack up your stuff. Don't leave your... Towards the end, I didn't have any money. There was biscuits. There was biscuits there, and I felt bad. I had to eat those. And, you know, there was like a couple wrappers. Not that I left the place dirty or anything like that. I was just had my charger, this and that. I was trying to, you know, my mind was a mess. And I was told, no, like, don't stay here. Don't make here a mess. Move your car, like, you know, move, like, get the fuck out of here. That's another word, is get the fuck out of here. Put in, you know, decorated with, you know, bullshit of fakeness, you know, covered in cherries, you know. But like, let's say you get a piece of shit, yeah. Let's say I got a piece of shit and I covered it in whipped cream, and I put cherries and strawberries, like layers and layers of it, and I gave it to you. You won't know that it's a piece of shit because you haven't, like, you have to go deep down into the layer. But that's me giving you shit. It's like, that's me saying fuck you, but it's covered in bullshit and delusion. I've lived this. I'm not fucking lying. I've lived this. Another mosque I went to, and mind you, when I was high off my face, I was still praying, because that's the only comfort I found. Right? That's the only comfort I found. And this isn't to belittle anyone, my environment, or anyone that I know. I'm not blaming no one. This is all on me. Again, you can make all your statements, oh, you know, bad upbringing, bad environment, bad this, bad that, and He's got problems and whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't care. This isn't to belittle my environment, the people that I know, my family, nothing like that. It's nothing like that. It's got nothing got to do with anyone. These are just my truths that I'm trying to preach to everyone. And I still love all the people around me, all my environment, my friends, my family, everyone. Yeah. This isn't about that, right? And I've stated this in my disclaimer and I'll say it again. I'm not pointing at names. I'm not giving names. I'm not giving any sort of description. This is general, right? And I'll say it again. This is my fault. This is stuff that I went through, but it's things that need to be spoken, right? I went to a mosque again. I was high, like you know. But the thing is, I would stop smoking weed like 30 minutes before, just to sober up, because you get used to it, right? And I'd still, you know, be able to function normally. I'd stop like an hour before, and I'd, you know, sober up a bit, and I'd go pray. And I went to another mosque and I went up to him and I asked him, I'm straight, I'm like, what advice would you like? I go, if there was one advice, what advice would you like to give? And he was, you know, and I took it upon him like mad, you know, he gave me amazing, I can't remember what it was. He gave me, like, he said a few sentences, I'm like mad, you know, I'm trying to seek help. There, like when you see someone that's fucking below 60 kilos, their skull is about to fucking fall into their face. And I remember at the mosque when there were other people there, and I heard, like, you know, I was going in, and there were like some older men there, like really old, saying, oh my god, you know, as if you do that to your body. I've heard comments like this when I used to walk past people used to be scared, saying, what the fuck did this guy do to himself, right? But yet the imam can't see. Your normal average person can see and be like, fuck, this guy is like on the verge of death, like he's lost his health. It's not all there, but the imam can't see this. Two imams can't see this. Yeah, anyways, I go and I'm, you know, again respectful, finish up the prayer, and I go to my car, and my car is a mess. There's like rubbish in my charger and all that. It's a shit show, right? Not in the sense where it's dirty, but it's just messy, right? And I'm zoned out and this and that, and then the imam comes, he goes, oh, can you, he goes, oh, like he stood there and he's like, oh, I guess, can you just pack up your stuff? And I was trying to, like, I opened the door and I was trying to like pack up my stuff and, you know, get rid of the rubbish. And it took a while, and he needed to close the gate. And he's like, oh, can you, you know, just hurry up and just move your stuff, because I need to close the gate, I need to leave. And I'm like, yeah, sorry, all good. And I quickly like just dumped everything, I threw it in the thing, I jumped in the car and I moved, and I went down the street and I parked there. So I'm sorry, like I'm sorry that I was such a mess. I understand you might have better things to do, but you're an imam. Did you not have 5-10 minutes? Were you that blind into not saying this cunt is screaming for help? Now, since I'm not a scholar imam and I see anyone like that, if anything, I can very clearly say this guy is screaming for help. This guy is screaming for. If I see anyone I'm not on drugs or anything. I'm perfectly sober. I'm perfectly mentally all there. I don't need, like, I'm not. This isn't me screaming for help. No. Don't get it twisted. This isn't me. This is me telling the truth and preaching and leading. It's the other way around now. Don't sit there thinking, oh, this guy is, you know, he's lost his mind. Yeah, like, say those comments. I don't give a fuck. Like, those are your own insecurities, right? But no. This isn't. Now I'm being drug tested. I'm going through my CCO. I'm perfectly legal, brother. I'm perfectly all there. There is nothing wrong with me in that sense, right? I'm very well aware, right? So no. The point of this video isn't, oh, he's screaming for help. No. This is me saying, open your eyes to the people that are blind, that refuse to see because of their own ego and their own arrogance. I can see, whenever I do see, I had another example I'll give you. This isn't made up bullshit. A couple of weeks ago, I was at a cigarette shop, late at night, midnight, buying cigarettes, yeah? And I see, as I'm walking out, I see a female in her car, parked up, and she was my age, yeah, 29, right? And she's saying, hey, I'm lighting up my smoke, and I go up next to her. I didn't go in her car, sit down in the passenger seat or whatnot. It's late night, it's inappropriate. And I stood out there, on the window, like just so you know, it's out in public. I go, I go, what's happening? And then I see, and this isn't again like, I'm not giving any names. You don't know who I'm talking about, but I see her inhaling canister, like I don't know what it's called, like the helium thing, huge, like this big, yeah, in the driver's seat, and she's got a balloon, and she's constantly inhaling that, and I don't know too much about it. I don't even know the name, but from my knowledge, that like I've seen it on social media, and again, the only drugs I've done in the past is weed. I haven't touched anything else. Alhamdulillah, I'm really grateful for that. And this isn't me judging anyone, right? You'll understand, like if you want to understand this, you'll understand that I don't have to repeat these, but I only repeat these for the arrogant hearts that refuse to understand or see beyond what I'm trying to say, yeah? Because I have to dumb it down like a little kid. Anyways, I go up and I see that, and like honestly reminded me, just flashback of the exact same position I was in, like completely gone, like. And I've given this example as well, driving high, like high, gone, like you're that high, you don't even, like, you lose touch of reality, right? And this example happened, both these examples happened in real life, right? These are real life examples. I'm not making this shit up. This isn't dragons and fairy tale. Anyways, I go there and she goes, she's obviously confused, and she goes, oh, can you buy, she's like, can you go inside and buy balloons for me? She's like, I'm out of balloons. And I'm looking and I'm like, I go, the first thing I said, the first very thing I said, I'm like, look, just to make her feel comfortable, very clearly, I'm like, look, I go, I'm not judging you. I go, I'm not trying to belittle you. I go, I'm not, trying to, put you down in any way. But I'm like, don't. I go, don't smoke that. I go, that's really dangerous. And then she looked, and these are the first, like, before, right? That's the key point. Before saying, hey, why are you smoking? That's the difference, that little difference. Hey, you're high. What, that, no, that's wrong, that's a sin. I had no knowledge of background or whatever, right? And it gets very interesting. And like, just to make her feel comfortable, to make her feel at ease, because I know what she's going through, in the sense where right now, like, or anyone, sober or non-sober, I don't want her to feel threatened or attacked or judged or put off in any way, or seeing me there and like judging her, belittling her. I don't want her to feel. So I said it like 5-6 times over. I repeated it. I'm like, I'm not judging you. I go, it's okay, but I go, don't smoke that. And then the convo continues. She's like, oh, but she goes, why? And it makes me high, and makes me feel good, this and that. And the response that I gave, right? My second response to that, I'm like, I told her, I'm like, I go, do you smoke weed? I'm like, go smoke weed. I told her to go do another drug, right? And I said it very clear. I'm like, look, I go, from my knowledge, I go, that, I said it exactly like this. I'm like, I go, that gives you brain damage. I go, you could be a vegetable. Like I said, I'm like, it's not worth it. I go, I go, if the oxygen doesn't get in your brain, I go, think of it. I go, imagine you're a vegetable and you're paralyzed. I'm like, please. I'm like, go home. I go, it's midnight. I go, it's not safe. I'm like, I go, smoke weed. And she's like, yeah. She goes, I smoke weed as well. And I got happy. I'm like, yeah. I go, that's really good. I go, please. I'm like, just go home. I go light up a J, smoke that, but not this. And then she tells me, she goes, I'm ashamed to say this. Exact words. She's like, I'm embarrassed to say this. She goes, and I don't want to say. She goes, but I'm Muslim. And I looked at her. I'm like, I go, why would you be ashamed of that? And the convo didn't really flow too much, because she's a bit like, her focus isn't there. But I told her very clear. I'm like, no, I go, don't say that. I go, it doesn't matter. I go, who cares if you're high or doing wrong, or whatever you're smoking, or like, don't be ashamed. I go, and then I continued further. Like, the topic got deeper. This is how you connect with people. The first step is to not judge, to not belittle them, to not think that I stood there above them, right? And you'll understand this as the story goes on. And I said, I'm like, look, I go, I put all my insecurities, all my faults at there. I said it straight up, and there's no lie. I said, I'm like, look, I came out of prison just very recently. I don't know how many weeks or months exactly. I said, I'm like, I came out very recently. I go, look, I lost everything. I lost, my rental property. I'm financially struggling. I go, it's not worth it. And I go, now you're sitting, behind the driver's seat, and I'm like, you're clearly high. I'm like, I've been there. I've got caught driving unlicensed. I go, you still have your car. You still have your license. I go, you could have an accident. That's number one. I'm like, you could lose control. You could have an accident. I'm like, or two, I'm like, if you get caught, I'm like, your license is gonna be gone. Like it's gonna be even more difficult because you're going through struggles in life. But the last thing you need is for your license to be taken away. I'm like, it's not worth it. I go, you will get caught. I go, I've got caught 4 or 5 times. I constantly got pulled over I got caught with weed. I go, and I said it, and I continued, and I'm like, I go, you ended up, I go, one thing, like, you keep ignoring the small stuff. I go, I ended up all the way, like, small matters, I go, ended up into actual criminal charges, and I go, I did 4 months in prison. I go, it's not worth it. I go, don't do it. And then she opened up even further. She's like, oh, she goes, I'm married, and, I'm having trouble going home. And again, she couldn't give too much information. And I sat there, and I'm like, I stood there. And she said it, she's like, oh, I jumped in the car. She's like, jumping. I'm like, no, I gotta go. And it's not appropriate anyway. Like, what am I? Again, it's not me trying to be religious or something. And I genuinely didn't want to, especially, of course, like when I found out saying, like, she's got a husband. What am I doing in the passenger seat? So I stayed behind. She's like, no. She goes, come, let's talk. And I'm like, look, I'll have a smoke with you, like standing outside. And I told her to just come pull around the corner to the car park, still out in public. And I decided to stay. I'm like, I don't want to leave because, like, I don't want to, like, run away from the situation and say, no, like, I don't want anything got to do with this person, and it's a female, and it's haram, and, it's dangerous, and I can't be here, I got to run away, this and that. I stood there for 10 minutes, and I tried speaking, like, repeating the same. I'm like, I go, do you have a home? I'm like, do you have a place to go to? I'm like, do you have parents that you can go to? I'm like, where can you stay? Tried my best to get through to her. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it was. And I'm like, alright, like, I've given my time, I did what I can. And then I said, I'm like, look, I gotta go. And I jumped in the car and I left. Compare to an imam that wasn't even willing to give 30 seconds of his time. And this is an imam. Right? So, that's my whole point. And I'll say it over and over again with real life examples, with real events, with real people. There are still people out there. If I've overcome this problem, again, I've said this before as well. If I've overcome that problem and I'm sober, I'm not doing drugs, and let's say, I'm off that, the sinful life, why would I run away from a female? Because, it's staying. Why would I, oh, no, I can't speak to that. But why? Because I am, I see myself as religious now. I see myself as better. Maybe, I don't know, maybe. I just thought, I'm like, I need to give my time. At least 10, 15 minutes. I need to do what I can. I need to try getting through to her. Disregarding, breaking all the rules. Smoke weed. Speaking to a girl. Late at night, inappropriate. Disregarding all of that, because in an emergency, right, in this real life exam, when an emergency happens, what do? You disregard, it's protocol, it's emergency. You bypass all the rules and you get straight to the point of trying to take action of whatever you need to take action into saving. And I'm not trying to make myself a hero. This is just an example, just a very simple interaction, an example. I haven't walked out from there saying, oh yeah, I've done what I can and I'm a big boy and this and that. If anything, I walked out, I'm like, man, like I felt bad. I felt bad, and that's it, and I put it behind me. In no way can I ever attribute, and anyone should ever attribute saying, I guided this person, I did this. It doesn't matter what you did. An atom's worth of good or hours and years worth of studying and preaching. And I've said this constantly all my life, even when I wasn't practicing. I used to tell everyone that I was turned off from religious people. I was. And when I heard someone was religious of a position with a title or something, I used to flip. I'd be like, nah, like, I'm sorry to say, fuck off. That's because because I knew the amount of hate and judgment, even like if they don't give that vibe or say it, shit disguised, covered in, whipped cream and strawberries. No, 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 no. I look at people's at full stop. I don't care what title you are. I look at a simple interaction, a 30-second interaction. 30-second interaction. Full stop. If I come to you, I'll try showing respect. And I'll try, and I don't see it from your regular Joe to whoever it may be. I'm like, nah, like 1 minute, 2 minutes, whatever. I try and I'm like, nah, whatever. Like, I'm like, your actions aren't showing what you preach, full stop. That's it. Because if he was, he would be humble. If he was, you would understand. If he was, you would give some sort of approval to my words. And no, it's I know what I have with AI generation. I know where I'm at. I know the influence that I may have. I know that it's not about today. This is about the past. Now it's the other way around. I don't care. Like, I still don't care. Now it's not about, give me, any sort of approval into my opinion. No, 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 no. That was back then when I was desperate. When I was desperate for anyone of a religious organization or, a religious position to acknowledge me and to be like, yeah, look, I don't pray, I don't, I'm a sinner, and I still am. I'm nothing. I'm a no one. I'm still a sinner. I still have my sins. I am who I am. Nothing's changed. I'm still the same person. But back then, when I was turned off from religion, I was so desperate into saying, please, someone, see me. But no, you don't get it. You won't get it. Just constant, no, you smoke, you smell like weed. I have convos with people. Another example I'll give, I know someone that smokes weed, and I still speak to him every day. I go hug him. I have a mad conversation with him, even if I smell that he reeks of weed and he's high. I go, how's your day? And I have the best convo, 15-20 minutes. And I'll tell him, I'm like, bro, I go, literally the other day, we're speaking, I'm like, bro, just stay off, every other drug, ice, this and that. I'm like, I go, and I know he smokes weed. I'm like, smoke your weed, bro. I'm like, do it. And he turns around to me and goes, yeah, bro. He goes, weed, like, you just, you chill out and, you light up and you enjoy it. And again, this isn't me promoting drugs in any sort of way. Don't do drugs of any kind. None. Don't do. It's not worth it. I'll still preach that. If this isn't promoting, I'm not trying to make it look good or anything like that. Weed is a drug that starts off as harmless, but every drug's, like, if it continues, the end is failure. Whether it might take you 5 months or 5 years. I first started smoking at 15. I got locked up in prison at the age of 28. And I was always on and off. It took me, close to how many years? 13 years for it to finally come to that point where I ended up in prison. Doesn't happen overnight. You don't know when it's going to happen. Get rid of it completely. 100%. Every scholar and every imam that says, stay away from sin, from alcohol, from drugs, from bad influence, 110%, 100. That's the golden rule. That's rule number one. But again, it goes back to everyone already knows this. Kind of like it's out there. Like there's no need to repeat this in the sense where yes, repeat it, but get into the topic, get into detail of why do people still commit adultery, or why do we still choose to sin when we know that we shouldn't? Why? Talk about it. Talk about the experience. Talk about the detail. That's what I'm trying to do. That's I get into detail. Now, some might see this as I'm glamorizing it. Some might see this as I'm doing harm. Some might see this as I'm doing damage, and maybe I am. I don't know. Maybe I am. I can't ever claim to be perfect, and that's again goes back to everything that I say. No person should ever think that they have to speak everything correctly, on point, and have full control over everything. Brother, look, you can speak whatever you want. If someone's going to be misguided and take something else out of your words, that's going to happen. Are your intentions clean? Yes, full stop. Then the rest is up to Allah. Everyone should focus on themselves. Just focus on yourself. I don't claim that I don't sin anymore. I don't claim that I'm religious. I don't claim anything. I fully admit everything, and I don't know what sort of effects it might. If it has good effects, it has good effects. If it has bad, then okay. That's something I admit. What can I do about it? I don't control destiny. I don't control fate, because I know up there, just the way I see a sinner like me, that was, sinning, but and you see many stories like this, many stories of people that are, from the companions of the Prophet to today's day and age of, people that are in their 30s, 40s, 50s are like lived a life of sin. Yet, somehow they get up from there in a day, in a month, and suddenly change and leave all that behind at whatever age. That clearly shows you, above all, is God. There are people that have spent their lives being an atheist, and then 20 years later they turn around and believe in God. Now, is anyone to claim saying, oh, I did this and I did that? How do you know? Same goes to me. I apply these rules to myself, to my own ego, to my own videos. But if I'm putting this much information out there into portraying myself and showing A to Z of everything, then I can say whatever I want, because brother, I've shown myself as is. I don't hide anything. That's it. There is nothing anyone can say in that sense saying you did this. I'll be like, no, I didn't. Watch my video, see my age generation. Oh, about your thing. No, I didn't. I've got proof. It's written. It's written in writing. It's written in our generation. It's shown in my video, saying out of my own mouth. I didn't. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not a religious person. I'm not trying to be someone. I'm not trying to claim authority. I'm not trying to claim any good that can come out of this. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I simply don't give a shit. Whether someone, I don't want approval, appraisal. I don't. And I've never liked the compliment. It seems empty to me. I don't care, brother. I don't care, honestly. I have my own goals and vision. I want to spread my truth. I want to still do business and become rich and have my own vision. Because that's what I've been trying to do from day one. I've been working. I've ran businesses. That's my lane. I'm not trying to go into another lane. I still am who I am. Today I might be driving a cheap car, and I might have had a cheap car all my life. But tomorrow I might have a $200,000 car. Who cares? I don't know that, but I aim. I admit that fully. I don't hide from it. I've lost my cars. I've had over 5 cars. I've lost them in the sense where I have to sell them and get rid of them, and I can't afford anymore. I admit that, but I still want to buy the cars and the wealth and the luxury, and still attempt doing business. I do. I've been trying since 18. I've been working like a dog, in terms, like working a lot, and I still will work a lot in different ways. I'll still get up at 6 a.m. and do the grind when the time is right. I will. I'm just trying a different avenue right now. That's it. My old, like, I haven't changed in, like, I'm still the same person. I am who I am, and I'll always be who I am. I don't hide it from no one. Yeah, that's it. Real life examples, real stories, real people. Please get over yourself. Yeah, please. Get over your title, get over your fame, whatever you have. And stop trying to, out of a 1 hour video, stop trying to always focus on other stuff and, you know, this person and that person. The only reason why I'm playing this political game is because I see this game being played very strongly, and I'm here to break it. I'm here to change the game. I'm here to be like, you know what, I don't give a fuck. Even if you see me with a girl tomorrow and a cigarette in my hand and a girlfriend tomorrow, I'll still preach religion. I will. Do I not light up a smoke? Do I not swear? I do. And even if I fall into sin tomorrow, again, and do the same shit. Not that I'm saying I'll never go back to drugs. God willing, that never thought, like, I despise those things. But let's say you saw me out with a girl and I got a girlfriend, and I'll still pick up the video and talk about religion. Who gives it? Like, what the fuck is it to you? What's it to you? Am I claiming that I'm sinless? Am I claiming a title? It is what it is, brother. It is what it is. And I've had this very amazing experience today, and I'm very tired in my own ways, and I'm mentally drained, and I'm going through a lot of difficulties, and I just want to share and journal my thoughts, speak my truth. I don't hide behind anything. I don't prepare for it. I open up the camera and I speak as is. Whatever point of my life I'm at, right? Because nothing is forever, right? There's always tomorrow, and I've said this before as well. If things are tough today, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen 2 months later, right? Or if things are good today, you don't know what's going to happen 2 months later. I've witnessed the downfall where I've realized how quick, and anyone that goes to the bottom realize how quickly you can lose everything. Business, money, freedom, how quickly it can go. There's also the other side as well. You can get up as quickly as well. It's not the end of the world. I'm turning age of 29 soon. I've still got my life ahead of me. Who said that it's over? This is only the start for me. I've won myself, I've won my confidence, I've won my voice, and I've won the idea of just being confident in myself and just trusting in God and not giving a single fuck about what other people think, and that is why I'll always try to promote that on my videos, day and night. Today, tomorrow, in the past, 5 years from now, I won't change. I'll stick true to myself. Yeah. And there'll always be, in any situation, people that like what you speak and people that completely disagree. People that will hate you for no reason, no matter what you do. People that will love you, even if you didn't do anything, right? That's life. That's life. I hope that people can mainly read behind the lines, see what I'm trying to preach, and understand where I'm coming from beyond, of course, my ego, my arrogance, and me speaking like a sick cunt, me being a tough cunt, me speaking harshly and speaking big in terms. I admit all of this. I do have that. I have a strong character. I speak, at times without thinking too much. I just say it as it is, and this has bad effects. I understand that. All I'm saying is just, I hope that you see past my sins, my mistakes, and just truly get the message, the true message of be yourself, brother. Stand up to your right, speak your truth. In every case, in every scenario, believe in what you think is right with your religion, right? If you pick up the Quran and you read a verse, or you listen to a podcast or whatever, and you think that something is appealing to you, go with that, full stop. Follow your heart, follow your desire. As long as your intentions are good and you're not trying to harm anyone or do anything stupid. That's it. That's it. Don't harm yourself. Don't harm anyone else. Your sins are yours. What you do and what you think and your, evil thoughts and mistakes or anyone like myself, that's between you and God. That's no one's business. Leave that private to yourself. You don't have to try to justify that to anyone else. That's always going to be there. Sin isn't going to disappear. Evil is never going to disappear. You'll be there until your very last breath in whatever country you're in, rich or poor. Till your very last breath, evil and the devil will always be there. The struggle, the test never finishes. You'll come back to back. One will finish. You might have financial problems, they'll fix up, and then some other problem will start. You might be physically strong, and then mentally you might go through depression. You might make $50,000, and then you might lose $20,000 tomorrow. It's ups and downs. There is no true I'm winning and I'm correct. The tests and the struggles just change. They change forms. The devil changes costumes. That's it. That's all. And if anything, we aren't going to be forgiven on our worship, on how much we study, and I'm saying on my behalf, on my intentions or whatever it is. Yeah, it's not the way it works. Clearly stated in religion as well. You could worship for 600 years, for years and years. If God doesn't want to forgive you, God won't forgive you. That's it. There is no it's all up to God's mercy. Whether you're a sinner, whether you're a believer. There is no rule saying Muslims aren't going to enter hell. Doesn't say that. Nowhere does it say that. All evil comes from humans. Good comes from God. Of course, I would, love for, everyone, even if you're, speaking for the people that are atheists, that don't believe in God. Of course, I'd want to preach and say, yes, don't sin and, believe that there's a creator. But if a person has chosen to not believe in a creator, that, there is nothing, I could say that a million times over with a million verses and, a million examples. It's not going to happen. If that person, it's not going to happen. So I'm trying a different approach. We're saying, yeah, all right, you don't believe in a God, fair. Okay. I believe in one God. I'm a Muslim. I believe that Allah, God, exists. And that's it. It's not dependent on it's not written, it's not like maths. This many sins equals this many years in hell, and this amount of good worship will save you from. When did these calculations and these rulings and these organizations and this, split between community ever happen? When? Just stay focused on yourself. Yeah. Sin, we're made to sin. We're humans. Sin's always going to be there. Ask for forgiveness, trust in God, and move forward. Full stop. That's all for today. I did speak for 1.5 hours, way past my 15-20 minute mark, but I'll divide this up into separate categories, and I hope that people can understand where I'm trying to come from, and I hope that I can make a change in any sort of way. It'll only make me happy and make me stronger, but in that sense, all guidance, all strength, everything comes from Allah, comes from God. I just like to vent and journal and just release my thoughts, and what I believe in is true. Whether people watch it or don't watch it doesn't really concern me. I'm just happy that I can journal this and one day look back into it and be proud of how far I've come. That's the whole reason why I started this page, and I'll continue with those intentions. But that's all for today. I'll see you next time. Again, my preach is to all, male, female, the young, the old. It's global, right? It's not aimed at anyone. And yeah, um, thank you for anyone that's out there listening to this. I appreciate it. See you next time.